Hello everybody, Stormy Strike here, and welcome to my next BreyerFest unboxing video. In this video, we'll be unboxing a special run model, one cheesecake, and the set of 5 stablemates that were in the pop-up shop. Don't forget to check out my previous BreyerFest unboxing videos if you have not watched those yet already. And I'll also have even more BreyerFest unboxing videos after this one. Let's get right into it. We'll start off with a BreyerFest special run. This is the special run Hamish, whose sticker got a little messed up there. Here is Hamish. Now he is the non-equine special run for this year's BreyerFest. He is a very cute bull, and I do not have any Breyer models on this bull mold yet, so it is really nice to have this guy. He is very adorable, and he is also glossy, if you can't already tell by that glossy sheen on him. I'm not a huge fan of glossy Breyer animals, but I do feel like it does look really nice on him. It really makes his color pop. We'll go ahead and zoom in and get a closer look at him. He's got some lovely speckling all over him, especially on his face. His muzzle is very adorable because it has some lighter highlights in color on the tip of it. So it's not just a solid dark brown, it has a little bit more to it. He's got some black eyes and really adorable ears because his ears are brown where a lot of the rest of his face is white, which is pretty cool. I also like the markings underneath his face. Those look amazing. I'm really impressed with the markings Breyer's been doing so far. They just look amazing and are well masked off. Just gorgeous. I just love all the beautiful markings and colorings. And it is interesting that his little splatters are not completely all over him. They mostly stay around his markings, and then he also just has a lot on his face. But they are not on the top of him or like on other parts of him here. So I think that's kind of nice that he's not just completely speckled all over the place, but it is limited to certain areas, which is kind of cool, I think. He's got some very cool markings on his haunches. His tail is just plain white. They didn't do anything to it. I wish maybe they would have done a little bit of shading, possibly on the actual bottom of the tail, but that's okay. Again, really nice markings on this other side, and also just really nice, kind of rich, dark shading. Nothing crazy drastic, but it is just a very nice dark color. I really like that. Very nice contrast to the white bare plastic. Amazing markings on his neck, and also this mold is just really cool because it has lots of wrinkles on the neck here. You can probably really see that with the gloss. I really like that. I like just the sculpt of this in general. I especially love the sculpt of the face. It is just so incredibly cute. Even if you don't care for Breyer animals, you gotta admit, this guy has an adorable face. How could you not love that cute face? So there is Hamish for you. For this year, he is the only other special run I got besides Boudica and the Solancha Surprises, but I am very happy with him. I think he is adorable, and I look forward to showing him to my mom because I bet she is gonna really like him as well because she loves the Breyer cows. Let's move on now to the BreyerFest set of stablemates. This is their Series 1 in a stablemates collection. And so far, all of these stablemates are based after past BreyerFest raffle models, which I really like the concept of that a lot, and I'm sure they're going to be doing this again next year. The only thing I didn't like about this set is how much it cost. But maybe it'll be worth the price if these stablemates have a lot of nice details in them. Also, my box is like messed up there. It came like that, I guess, when they're probably putting it in the box to be mailed out, but that's okay. I wasn't really planning on keeping this box anyway, except for maybe the back of it, so that doesn't really matter to me. These guys are easy to unbox, at least. I don't even have to mess with any twist ties or anything like that. I just gotta cut some tape here. Voila! We're just gonna pop each of these little guys out, and we'll take a closer look at every single one of them. Here they all are, all 5 of them together. We'll start off with Windswept. This one might be my least favorite just because I'm not a huge collector of this particular Stablemate mold, but I do think it is very nicely done actually. She has some subtle dapples, which are very cool, and some really nice Appaloosa markings. This is pretty impressive, the masking on this, because these are really tiny spots, and yet they look really good, really crisp markings. There's no major overspray or anything like that. Her mane and tail have a very nice silver pearly sheen to them, which does look very cool. Just overall, the color does look nice. I like that it's got a lot of lighter highlights and then like darker shading going on. The face has little adorable face markings on it. That looks very, very cute. This is a very, very nicely done little model. Again, it's probably my least favorite of all of them, but I do think it's still very nice. I also like those little front socks. That is very, very cute. This little guy is based after a BreyerFest 2015 raffle model, and it does look like it has a kind of white base coat put on it. For example, if you look at the Windswept one here, you can see that this guy has a lot brighter white than her because she just has the bare plastic, I believe, whereas he really does have a white coat of paint put on him first, which I think is very nice and really makes him pop. I do like this one a lot. I like the markings on it. It's got very nice, again, pretty crisp markings going on. Oh my goodness, look at his face. His face is actually, wow, look at the detail on his face marking. That is pretty impressive. I do like that. I also really like the lighter highlights going on around his chest and like on his flank. That looks really good. There's his other side. I love the little marking up on his neck. Again, pretty nicely done markings. Quite a bit of detail for such a little bitty stablemate. And just wow, I'm pretty impressed with the masking and stuff. This is pretty intricate masking and edges on these markings. And there's his cute little peachy hooves. So he is very nicely done. I am quite liking him, and he is definitely one of my favorites of this set. So I'm glad that he turned out so lovely. He is a very, very pretty little guy. Let's pull up another favorite, although I'm a little disappointed. Ignore the fact that this guy has got fuzz sticking to him. But I am a little disappointed that his mane looks very, like, brownish. It doesn't look white, even compared to, like, just the other stablemates. It's very, very off-white, and I thought it'd be a brighter, silvery, pearly white because I believe the actual raffle model was like that. So I'm kind of disappointed. He's got kind of a muddy-looking mane, and even his tail. His tail's a little bit more clean and white and shiny at the bottom there. I'm really not a fan of this muddiness of the color. I thought it was going to be a lot brighter white. I mean, it technically is maybe more realistic for him to not have super duper white mane and tail and markings and stuff, but it does just look a little muddy to me, and I'm not a super big fan of that. But otherwise, I do like his pretty shading going on. He's got some really nice shading and highlights and some very subtle dapples. Those look very lovely. On this side, you can see his dapples a lot more. He's got a little bit on his haunches, and you can really see it there on his belly. The dapples are a little big, but it's kind of hard for them to make them too much smaller on the stablemates. So I think overall it does look very good in that regard. There's his little socks and his tail. The socks on this side. His face, which does have some overspray on the forelocks. But he's pretty cute. I just am a little disappointed with the color for some reason. It's just not quite what I was expecting. But he is pretty and glossy, and I do really like this little stablemate mold. So I like him, just not quite as much as I thought I was going to. Here is the little warm blood. Now I do really like the color and pattern on this one. He looks very cool. Again, very nice markings going on. I'm really liking that. His color looks very, very pretty. Actually, I think it looks a little better here than on the stock photos. He also has a little bit of masking tape, it looks like, stuck to him. There we go. I was able to get that off. I mean, he's got a tiny bit of little overspray like here and there, but like just barely. He's nice. I like this one actually quite a bit. He's got some nice dapples again, but they're not super overpowering. They're more subtle, which I am usually a huge fan of more subtle dapples. His face looks very nice. He's got some lovely face markings going on, and his eyes are even black and white, which is a nice touch. He is quite cute. I like him even more than I think I thought I was going to. He's got high stockings and then dark shading above those stockings. He's got a black mane and tail, but the white goes over his mane there. I'm sorry, like pieces of dust and stuff keep getting on the models, but you get the idea. He is quite lovely. I am very pleased with this one. Now on to the last stablemate in that set. He does have a little rub, or like scratch / rub on the top of his back there. So that's a little bit of a bummer. So he won't be like showable unless I'm able to touch that up. But, you know, it happens. It's not a huge deal. Otherwise, he does look very nice though. And again, I'm really impressed by these markings. They look very crisp. And for just how detailed they are, it came out really well, I think. I really like the tail on him. It's got some nice fade from a darker chestnutty color to a more tannish sorrel color. He's got a nice two-toned mane. And this guy, actually, I'm really surprised because his eyes are actually detailed. Holy cow! He actually has brown eyes. And I'm surprised they did this on him and not the other ones, unless it's just because the raffle model guy had detailed eyes like this. I don't know. Oh, he also has some nice little spots on his muzzle. That looks really cute. I'm liking those little spots a lot. And just all of the detail of these markings is really, really lovely. I am liking this guy even a little bit more than I thought I would as well. Wow, just very, very nice, lovely markings going on. He is just so cute, and I really love, I didn't even notice this before either, this adorable little patch of white on his hoof, and so then his hoof is like a peach color. That's a really nice little detail. And then he does have a teeny tiny white sock on the other hoof there, and that hoof is peach. So this guy is also very cute, I think. It is a little bit of a bummer that he has that little mark on his back, but I very rarely show stablemates anymore, so it doesn't really matter too much to me. He'll just be a nice little shelf piece. So there are all of the little stablemates in that stablemate set. I do think the set was a little bit expensive. It felt a little expensive, but it did end up being that each horse was only a little bit over $10, which is less than the Stablemate Club models. I do think all these guys have pretty much the same amount of detail as a Stablemate Club model, so I'd say, yeah, they were kind of worth the price, even though it was a little bit more than I was hoping to pay for them. Of this set, my favorite is definitely this guy. I thought it was going to be him, but I'm, like I said, a little disappointed with how off-white he kind of looks on his mane and stuff. So this guy is going to be my favorite of this set for sure. He is just very lovely. Oh my goodness, I love just the stark white on him and the markings and all of that fun stuff. So he is going to be my favorite of those guys. Now for the last model in this video, we have the store special Faugh-A-Ballagh of Willow Wind, or better known as Cheesecake or Cheesy. This is a really cool model on the Britian mold. And this guy has a really neat box, just like Benelli had. But instead of purple plaid, he's got this red and blue plaid going on, which goes all around the box. The very cool Celtic Fling logo on the side of the box. It has a picture of him in the back there. Again, very cool Celtic logo on the side. And on the very back of the box, it of course is going to be talking about Cheesecake and has some pictures from the farm that he's from. And there is a picture of real life Cheesecake. So this guy does have some really interesting coloring going on, but let's open him up so we can actually get a better look at him. Here is Cheesecake. And I'm sorry, it's maybe going to be a little hard to see him against the white background. He is a very light colored model. He is mostly white and then has those cremello markings. But let's get a closer look at this guy. Because his markings are so light, it is a little hard to see them. You have to get up close to see him. He does have blue eyes, which is very nice. I do like those lovely blue eyes on him. Love that coloring on him. It is so kind of wacky feeling. I don't know how to describe it. It feels like it shouldn't be like real or something. I don't know how to say it. I'm tired as I film this video. It just looks very unusual, which is fun, and I think a reason why he's so popular is because his color is a little different from anything Breyer's done before. I am not a huge fan of his muzzle, I will say. I think his muzzle should have been a bit of a different color because it matches his body color just a little bit too much, and so it looks, I think, a little odd. It actually would be even better if it was a pinkish muzzle instead of this peachy color. I think the real horse even has more of a pinkish muzzle, so that is one thing on this model I wish they would have maybe done differently, is if he had a pinkish muzzle. But otherwise, I think he is very fun. I like these markings. You can see he's got like some spots of the color stuff going on there. Again, I'm sorry, as I'm filming this video, it's like getting really late at night, so I'm starting to get really tired here. But you can probably see those spots of color on him. He doesn't have a whole lot of shading, although he does have a little bit. It's just very subtle because of that color. It's very light, so they can't do a huge amount of shading on him, otherwise he wouldn't be this very dilute color. And on the bottom of him it does say BreyerFest 2020. He's got peach hooves. There's his VIN number. He's a very fun model. I know he was very popular this year. I think between him and Benelli's probably going to be my favorite, but he is very cool and fun, and I do like the Britian mold, especially in certain colors, and this color does this mold a lot of justice, I feel like. It really shows off this dynamic look and all the fluffy mane and tail on him. It just really shows that off. And I'm also very curious how he's going to look in person in gloss. And I will be getting the glossy version of him in December, and I'll of course do another unboxing video of the glossy version of Cheesecake. There are all of the models I unboxed in this video. Stay tuned because there are even more BreyerFest 2020 unboxing videos to come. Let me know in the comments below which of these models that I unboxed in this video is your favorite. Thank you for watching, have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone!